Baby TIE Fighter's back, ready for some more space blasting action with another version of Demon Attack, this time for your Intellivision. And looking at the manual, you see the same artwork that was on the 2600 version. Some boxes for the Intellivision had the same artwork, while mine has this alternate artwork that's more of a painting with more of an organic look, which is cool. Not as cool as the original, but still pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take Demon Attack for the Intellivision, pop it in my Intellivision, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Demon Attack was published by Imagic and carries a copyright year of 1982. This version was programmed by Gary Cato. The manual opens with the following. Winged terror screams across mute space. Legions of creature bombard Earth's final outpost, Moon Station Tranquility. Intercept and destroy these garrisons, which breed destruction, or Earth is doomed. Survive the demon attack, then go on the offensive. Your laser cannon lifts off the lunar surface. You seek to track down Pandemonium, flagship of the Demon Armada. Its awesome bulk seems to fill space with menace. It spews vast armies of eternal night from its fiery core. Attack! And the tyranny of the Demon Armada. You must prevail against monumental odds. Demon Attack is a Space Invader style space shooter for 1 or 2 players. For the controls, you use the disc to move left and right and the side buttons to fire. You can also set auto fire by pressing any keypad number after your game begins. Similar to the Atari 2600 version, which I just reviewed in my previous episode, your goal is to survive wave after wave of invaders. In the first wave, you must survive 8 winged warriors. In the second wave, you must survive 8 pairs of tentacled terrorists for a total of 16. In the third wave, you must survive 8 sets of 5 bound bombers for a total of 40. Each time you survive one of these waves without dying, you get an extra life with a maximum cap of 6 lives. If you survive all 3 waves, you will take off to face the massive Pandemonium. Here you must avoid or destroy yellow suicide patrollers while shooting the shield until an opening appears. Then you must fire a single shot through the opening that will hit the core in the middle to defeat it. After this, you return to the first wave at increased difficulty. After you defeat Pandemonium the first time, the enemies will start firing some jagged juggernaut shots that explode when they hit the ground. If you're more skilled than I am, after you defeat Pandemonium a third time, enemies will also shoot heat detecting detonator shots that home in on you. The overlay seems pretty basic at first, telling you to move with the disc and fire with the side buttons, but by using the manual as a secret decoder, you could see it's more complicated when using it to select a game variation. The first vertical row is for 1-player games, the second is for 2-player alternating games, and the third vertical row is for 2-player co-op games, where every 4 seconds the ship changes color and the other person takes control. The top horizontal row is to choose the basic game, the second row is for the advanced game. The third row is for a basic game where you fire tracer shots guided by your disc, and the fourth row is for the advanced game with tracer shots. Pressing one button when you start the game selects the game option and the number of players at the same time. Scoring wise, you get 25 points for standard enemies, 1 point per suicide patroller at Pandemonium, and 1,000 points for defeating Pandemonium. In a 2-player co-op game, if you get destroyed, your opponent gets 500 extra points. Graphically speaking, the game looks pretty good, including an Earth background on the first screen and a cool looking boss battle section. However, sometimes on the first screen, I did have a hard time picking up shots that went through the Earth in the background. Sound and music wise, the music in between sections was great, but the rest of the music and sounds didn't do much for me. Family friendly wise, the game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if it was released today. At the time I researched on eBay, including shipping, loose copies were going for $5 to $6 and complete were going for $7 to $10, and new copies were selling for $9 to $20. So what did I think of Demon Attack on the Intellivision? Overall, I enjoyed the game with its nice look, some cool music, and fun boss battles. However, the controls could have been tighter, and using the side buttons can be painful, but at least you have an auto fire option. Also, there were times when I lost several lives in a row after dying, then getting hit the moment I popped back up. Some temporary invincibility after dying would have been nice, and the game can be buggy and crash. twice during my time with the game. My game froze up after I defeated Pandemonium, which stunk. From what I understand, it's not just my cart. So how does it compare to the 2600 version? Well, in some regards, this version almost plays more like a remake or a sequel than a straight port, and both games are enjoyable and have individual strong points. In my opinion, the 2600 version has better looking standard enemies, tighter controls, better sound effects and background tension music, and is easier, which I like, but the Intellivision version has a nicer background on the first screen, some really great in-between section music, and the cool boss battles. So in the end, both games are fun and worth playing, and different enough that you really don't need to pick one over the other. So where am I going to rank Demon Attack? This one is going in my current top 10 for the Intellivision. I do like it better than Space Armada at 9, but not better than Venture at 8. So out of the 19 games I've now ranked on the Intellivision, Demon Attack is taking off at the 9th position. Demon Attack can be buggy, but is a fun version of the Atari 2600 Classic. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please click like and subscribe and follow me both on Facebook and Twitter. I'm a member of the Retro Junkies Network. At this time, I'd like to thank all of my extraordinary Patreon supporters, including Nick from the Genesis Gems podcast. Thanks, Nick. You too can help support the show, gain access to exclusive content, and be able to vote on future games I review by signing up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and beware of buggy crashes that end your game early. I'm the No Swear Gamer, and now